Hi guys. Well, we're going to read one about the slumber party, the Berenstain Bears. See how they had all their friends there? That's the picture in the front of the book. And then here it has a little, sometimes little bears' good behavior ends when they pack their pajamas and stay over with friends. That's kind of cute. Okay. This is the slumber party. Look at the animals. They're looking in the window, watching them. They're dancing or something in there. That's kind of nice, too, to see. One of the most interesting things about a telephone is that when it rings, you don't know who's calling until you answer it. Sometimes when the phone rang in the bear's treehouse, it was for Papa. Papa Bear is a furniture maker, and customers often call about buying a table or chair. He's answering the phone. He says, "Yes, I think I can handle that. How soon will you need it?" Sometimes it was Grizzly Gran calling Mama about getting together for a visit. "This weekend? That'll be fine, Gran." When the call was for Brother Bear, it was usually Cousin Freddie with a question about homework. "The fifth problem? I got 6.5. What did you get?" See, it shows them talking on the phone. When it was for Sister Bear, it was almost always her best friend, Lizzie Bruin. "For you, sister, it's Lizzie." And Lizzie almost always had some big idea. A tea party for all their stuffed animals, going to the attic and dressing up in grown-ups' clothes, or organizing a sorority and using Farmer Ben's old chicken coop as a clubhouse, with permission, of course. "It's okay with me, but I think I should warn you." Oh, and the kids are running out of there and they're hollering, "P-U!" They must be going to the chicken coop. You know what the chicken coop smells like, a couple of you guys. You have chickens. But today Lizzie was calling with her best idea yet. "A slumber party. Tonight at your house? Great idea," said Sister. "Just a few of my dearest friends," Lizzie continued. "You, of course, and Anna and Millie and Queenie. Bring your sleeping bag, and would you bring your tape player? Anna and Millie are going to bring tapes, and Queenie's going to teach us the latest dance steps." See, they're on the phone talking about what they're going to do at the slumber party. "I don't know," Mama Bear said later. "You've never slept away from home before." "Oh, but I have," protested Sister. "At Grizzly Gramps and Gran's. One time for a whole week." "That's different," said Mama. "Gramps and Gran are family, close family." "The Bruins are neighbors," argued Sister. "Close neighbors. Oh, please, Mama. It'll be such fun. I'm taking my player. Anna and Millie have great tapes, and Queenie's going to teach us the latest dance steps. Please, Mama." "Oh, I suppose it's all right," sighed Mama. "Come on, let's start getting you organized for this slumber party." See, she's talking with Mama. "You know," she said as she checked out Sister's sleeping bag, "it still had some leaves stuck to it from a family sleep-out. Sleeping over at a friend's house is a kind of special privilege, and something that goes with privilege is responsibility. Do you know what those words mean?" "Sure," said Sister. "Privilege means being allowed to do stuff, and responsibility means not messing up." "Now you remember what your Mama told you about privilege and responsibility," said Papa Bear, as Sister started off for Lizzie Bruin's. "Oh, I will, Papa. I will," she said. See, she got the sleeping bag out, and see, Sister's gone with her sleeping bag to sleep over. But Sister wasn't very far along the road to Lizzie's before she began thinking about all the fun and excitement she was going to have at the party. It didn't take long for those thoughts to push Mama's advice about privilege and responsibility clear out of her head. Another interesting thing about telephones is that they help news to travel fast, especially news about parties. Anna told her other friends about the slumber party, and they told their friends. Millie did the same. Pretty soon, cubs from all over the neighborhood were calling Lizzie and asking if they could come to the party. "Sure," she said, "but bring some popcorn or soda. We don't want to run out." Oh my goodness, they're inviting the whole neighborhood over to come and have a slumber party. Too Tall Grizzly didn't hear about the party by phone. He heard about it when he and his gang went to show Queenie his new boombox. "A slumber party?" he said to his pals. "Sounds like fun." "How are we going to get invited to a girls' party?" asked one of them. "We're not going to get invited, stupid," said Too Tall. "We're going to crash, boom, box, and all." Uh-oh, they got bad thoughts of what they want to do. They're going to crash a party, and they're not supposed to do that. Later, when the rest of the bear family had settled down for a quiet evening at home, Mama Bear sighed and said, "I'm sure she'll be all right." "Of course she will," said Papa Bear, looking up from a magazine. "After all," Mama said, "Sister is a well-behaved little cub, and Mr. and Mrs. Bruin have a lovely, well-run home and are responsible, careful parents." "No doubt about it," said Papa, going back to his reading. See, they're spending the evening hoping that everybody's going to be good at the party. There was only one problem. Mr. and Mrs. Bruin weren't home. They had gone out for the evening and had left Lizzie in the care of a teenage sitter who wasn't much older than some of Lizzie's gals. The Bruins hadn't planned on a slumber party when Lizzie had asked if a few friends could sleep over. And they certainly hadn't planned on a rip-roaring, ear-splitting, popcorn-throwing, soda-squirting party for half the cubs in the neighborhood. Because that's what was happening, with Sister right in the thick of it. The only thing that wasn't happening at the slumber party was slumber. They didn't listen very well, did they? Lizzie's sister tried to keep things under control. Lizzie's sitter tried to keep things under control, but she couldn't even make herself heard over the noise. She never heard such a commotion. Some neighbors up the road had never heard such a commotion either. They called the police. The chief sent Officer Marguerite to investigate. She reached the Bruins' house at the same time Mr. and Mrs. Bruin were returning home. Oh boy, they're going to be in trouble now, aren't they? Well, things calmed down pretty quickly after that. The party was canceled, parents were called, Lizzie was sent to bed, and an angry and disappointed Mama Bear came to take Sister home. "I'm angry and disappointed," said Mama Bear as they walked home through the night, "after all the things I said about privilege and responsibility." You can understand why Mama would be mad. She didn't listen to what she was told to do. Sister was grounded and sent to bed, doubly grounded, which meant she had to stay in her room for a day and in the house for a week. A pretty harsh punishment, commented Papa Bear a little later. "Not harsh at all," said Mama. "You should have seen the Bruins' living room. Popcorn stuck to everything, soda all over the place, lamps knocked over, an absolute disgrace. After all I said about privilege and responsibility." See here, they're telling her to go to bed. She was bad. "Sister doesn't have to share the blame," said Papa, "but she didn't do it all by herself. It was one of those situations where one thing leads to another and things get out of control. But you know, my dear, privilege and responsibility aren't just for cubs. They're for parents, too. Cushions all strewn about," said Mama. "It's a privilege to have cubs, and with privilege goes responsibility," continued Papa. "So we're partly to blame, too. When Lizzie invited Sister to the slumber party, it was our responsibility to call the Bruins. If we had, we'd have found out that they were going to be out for the evening, and the whole thing would have been nipped in the bud." Said Mama thoughtfully. See, they're talking it over. The next morning, she canceled the grounding and took Sister over to the Bruins to help clean up. Anna, Millie, and Queenie had come to help, too. See, they all came to help clean up the house because what they did was wrong. "I know what," said Lizzie, as full of ideas as ever. "Let's make this a clean-up party." "Let's not," said Sister, "and if you don't mind, Liz, I don't want to hear the word party again for a long time." See, it's showing them with the brooms are cleaning up all that popcorn and all that soda. I bet they really made a mess. So we know we always have to listen if we go over to somebody's house to sleep. We can't be playing and doing things without them knowing. You have to ask what you can do. And you all know that. You're all good. You're all good kids, so you know that you can't just go to somebody's house and throw popcorn all around and throw pop all around. And that's not very nice. Mom and Daddy would not like that at all. So, but I know you're all good. Talk to you soon. Love ya. Toodaloo.